Calvin, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
So, all right, tell me about what we have here today.
So this is a locally brewed porter.
Okay. Are there any other porters that are being brewed in Nairobi?
No, not of I know of.
One of a kind.
Yeah, one of a kind.
Very, very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are the kind of flavors that you would expect from this porter?
So this one is very complex.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the same time, it's very smooth and rich with taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me have a look at this. Dark, smooth, rich.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to make a cupcake
Yeah.
with a really nice espresso mocha butter frosting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to really just like, these flavors are going to really come through.
Wow.
It's dark, it's rich, it's creamy,
Yeah.
it's luxurious.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's taste it. Do you want to do the, let me open it
Yeah.
and you can do the honors. I know
Yeah.
you have a better pour than me. Oh, okay. Wow, check that color out. Nice. Okay.
As you can see, the head is very creamy.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that's one of the characteristics as a brewer that I look in this beer.
Well, man, this is going to be delicious. Thank you so much. Okay, so we just tasted that amazing porter, and I did not know that that was the only porter being made in Kenya. It's absolutely outstanding. Today, you are going to see me bake. Rare, but necessary, because that is so creamy, so lush, so kind of comforting. The only thing to do is make cupcakes. So I am going to make really, really lovely cupcakes. First thing to do, though, for these cupcakes, because you don't want too much of a wet batter, there's a lot of wet ingredients, especially if you're using the beer. The key here to maintain the flavor but reduce the wetness is to reduce the beer. So we're going to take a whole porter and you're going to reduce it down till it's about 2/3 of a cup, which is probably 1/4 of a beer. So in it goes into our salad master. So that's reduced down to about, like I said, 2/3 of a cup. That's intense flavor, and these cupcakes are so good. So in here is about 1.5 cups of flour. That's going to go, we're going to start with our dry mix. So in there was also 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's going to help these cupcakes really lift. And into the dry mixture is about 2/3 of a cup of cocoa. And I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Chocolate and salt are actually really good friends. So that's going to work a treat. Just get the rest of that cocoa in there. Okay, so I'm just going to combine all these dry ingredients in a bowl here and set that aside. So for our wet mixture, we are going to add the sugar. In here is brown sugar, which is essentially white sugar with molasses. And that's 1 cup. And then into that, you're going to have crack 2 eggs. 1, 2. And so this is actually the key ingredient. This ingredient makes this recipe mind-blowing. So this is yogurt that I have strained through some cheesecloth so it becomes about the consistency of a cream cheese. You see that? It's so good. That is 2/3 of a cup of yogurt. A lot of recipes online call for sour cream, but I actually think that this yogurt works even better. It's lower fat, it's less heavy, so this gives the cupcakes a really nice, really nice lift. So I'm going to give these ingredients a good whisk together. You want to, you want to combine it until it's a really nice, smooth mixture. So like right now, you can see like that brown sugar is still granulated, and that's not going to work in this recipe. It's serious. You really, honestly, need to make sure that sugar completely dissolves. I tested this recipe 4 times, and I'm a testament to this working. So it's going to take some elbow grease. If you've got an electric mixer, do you? But I quite like the cathartic process after a long day. So that wet mixture is done. It's looking really good, nice and smooth. The sugar's kind of worked into the eggs, got a really nice texture in there. So we can combine that with those dry ingredients. Whisk them in slowly. There's no rush here because you want it to combine, you don't want it to clump. And you're going to get what looks like a pretty, standard mixture. And then we're going to add that lovely porter, and it's going to get really runny. But do not worry. The baking soda in the flour was going to do its job and lift that beautifully. So into these dry ingredients, I'm also going to add about 2 tablespoons of espresso, because we're going to make a really nice mocha frosting, and that coffee ties through beautifully. And the rest of that porter now will go in there just to loosen this all up. I'm going to do half of it at a time. Okay, so that's really nice. That we've got a really nice, a really nice texture coming from this batter, and I'm just going to kind of incorporate the last of that porter. So you can see here coming together, we have a really nice kind of wet batter. So last into here is some vanilla essence. Unfortunately, in Kenya, you can't buy the good, vanilla extract. So I always double up. So that's probably about 2 tablespoons. So that's going to go in there. So you'll see this batter has come together beautifully. It's a lovely color. That's just going to get richer and darker in the oven. I'm going to start filling up a cake tin. So I've got these cupcakes ready to go. This recipe actually probably would do 16. I've got 12 in here. Doesn't hurt to have a bit extra. And then we're going to get them in the oven at 175 degrees for about, I would say anywhere between 19 and 21 minutes, depending on your oven. But I boil it after 19 minutes. So I am going to just decant this lovely mixture into one of our multi-purpose, beautiful pint glasses. And so for this, it's important. There are 2 teaspoons of baking powder. They are going to rise. I've also, whisked in a fair amount of air. So you want to fill them up 2/3. Again, like I said, I tested this a couple times. 2/3, bang on. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to stick them in the oven, and you'll see them when they come out. They are delightful. So like that, about 2/3 up. And we're just going to go all the way. Okay. So there we go. We've got our cupcake tray filled. Like I said, 2/3 of the way up with a lovely porter. That's going to go into the oven, 20 minutes, 175 degrees, and just keep an eye on it from the 19-minute mark. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven, and we'll get back to you when they're done. So while those cupcakes are in the oven, we can go ahead with our frosting. So I'm going to start with 500 grams of icing sugar. I know it sounds like a lot, but this really is a killer frosting, and it's a butter frosting, so it needs to be pulled through with all that nice, those nice clouds of icing sugar. So that icing sugar's gone in. Now we're going to get about 300 grams of butter. This is softened butter, so it just basically means I've left it at room temperature, so it's easier to work with. That all goes in there. Okay. And you're just going to start to combine that. Now, icing sugar will fly up in your face. It will pillow, it will cloud. Just be gentle when you start, because it has the tendency to destroy your kitchen. A good tip when you're doing this is if you kind of like use the back of the spoon to push the sugar into the butter, it tends to fly in your face less. So that's combined now, looking great. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit of liquid here just to loosen it all up. To pull it through, we have some of the porter. Pour that taste through. About 1/4 cup. Another tablespoon of that lovely espresso powder. Vanilla extract. And a pinch of salt. And I mean, it's very discreet, but I really love it. Nutmeg. It's one of my favorite ingredients. So I'm just going to grate some of this directly in there. You can get nutmeg all over now. It grows readily in kind of like up north in Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea. So some nutmeg has gone in there, just a little bit more for luck. You can see these lovely nuts. Gorgeous. And okay, so all the ingredients are in, and I'm just going to give that a final blast. Yeah. Get some elbow grease behind it. You really want to soften the butter. The sugar, everything needs to be incorporated. And then we're going to... That's so good. Okay, so all that has been incorporated. That lovely kind of like mocha color from the espresso. It smells delightful. I'm actually going to put a little bit more espresso in there. Okay, so that's all incorporated. It looks absolutely delicious. Really beautiful color there. And I'm just going to give it a taste. Toast your food while you cook. You know what's up. Okay, that's perfect. Really nice espresso going through there. You can taste the vanilla. The nutmeg's lifting really beautifully in the background. So I'm just gonna put this aside now, and we're gonna have a look at these lovely cupcakes, which came out of the oven about 10 minutes ago, and they look incredible. I've just been cooling them down a bit. Look at that, they look fantastic. I mean, dark, gooey, beautiful. We have a look here, peeling back perfectly. I'm super happy with those. Okay, so I'm gonna start icing these beauties. I'm gonna get this out of the shot so that I can clear a space for myself up here. Let's see how this goes. So I'm not the best piper, I'm not gonna lie, but we do our best, right? And boop, okay. When you're piping, you wanna start from the outside and kind of rotate your way inside. And there we go, another one for the win. We got it. Yeah, we do. Okay, so I've done my best piping job. I'm not gonna lie, that's the best I can do. But give it a go at home and let me know how it goes. I'm just gonna dust it with that lovely nutmeg on top. And you can actually eat these beautiful lavender petals. So, and they would make for a really pretty garnish. So here we have 3 really beautiful porter mocha cupcakes. They are outstanding. They are gooey on the inside, they're soft, they're fluffy, they're unctuous, they're buttery, they're creamy. I don't even know. Let me know how you get on. I'm excited to see how you go with this one. I'm gonna open this beer.